Hi, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. Well, I hope you've had a great holiday season. It's almost New Year, so let's talk about some New Year's resolutions you might want to consider for the coming year. Number one, I think is probably the most important, is to quit asking your doctor for a pill or some new medication for a disease, and instead get into the habit of asking them, what causes this disease? What can I do for to treat it as far as lifestyle is concerned before I switch to a medication? And odds are they will probably look at you like you're crazy, but frankly, that's their job. And they need to start doing it, and the more people start demanding of it, the better they're going to get at it. So until we start demanding that doctors start telling us the root cause and what we can do to prevent certain diseases or to make them better, we're just going to keep getting more pills and big pharma. And frankly, that's a mistake. When you think about it, what most medications do is they don't really cure the disease. They actually mask a particular symptom. Say, for instance, if you're a type 2 diabetic and they prescribe you insulin, that's not curing your diabetes. That's managing your blood sugar. That's managing a symptom. If you ask them, how do you change it? Well, odds are if they listen to the American Diabetic Association, they're going to say, well, it's progressive and it's not curable. If they did their research, they would know from Virta Health it is completely reversible if you change your diet and lifestyle. So start demanding that your doctor tell you what you need to do in order to reverse the disease. See, there's two types of diseases. There's acute diseases and there's chronic. The acute are the sudden onset things. Your appendix goes out, you fall off a roof, you get hit in an auto wreck. And that's where American medicine shines. This is, I'm not anti-Western medicine by any stretch of the imagination. If I was in an auto wreck, there's no place on the planet I'd rather be than in the United States in one of our trauma systems. They are phenomenal at rescuing people from the brink of death who have acute injuries. Where we suck and where you need to get out of is for the management of chronic diseases. And nearly, close to 80% of all Americans have, over the age of 50, have some sort of chronic condition. Many of us have multiples. Majority of us have over multiple chronic conditions, all of which could be treatable through diet and lifestyle. But because we're not demanding that our doctors tell us what we need to do, they're ignoring it. They're giving you symptom management. They're giving you more medication. And frankly, that shouldn't be a real shock to you. Do you realize that here's the two biggest owners of doctors? Well, owners of doctors sounds a little bit more onerous than it really is. The people that own the most practices that have doctors in the United States right now are CVS Pharmacy and United Insurance. So you've got, frankly, there's a good chance that your doctor works for a pharmaceutical giant or, a pharmaceutical retail giant or a big insurance company. Investor groups are looking like crazy for any medical practice that they can purchase because they are so highly profitable. They love owning doctors. And unfortunately, when they own them, they change the practice. Suddenly, medicine is no longer an art where doctors are acting as teachers like they should, but instead they're following an algorithm. They're employees. They have to check the boxes, and they have to please their bosses. And their bosses, frankly, are not looking after you, and they don't care about your health. So here's my second New Year's resolution. Get out of the healthcare system. The medical malaise. Start looking now to how in the world you can quit paying insurance and start using other things. Why would I say to quit taking insurance? What are you trying to do, bankrupt me? No. If I wanted to bankrupt you, I would tell you, get a really good insurance program and have a major medical issue. Because the number one leading cause of bankruptcy are medical bills owed by people who have really great insurance. If you want to go bankrupt in the United States, have great insurance and have a major medical condition, because frankly, it's amazing how many of those claims are going to be denied. There's been a number of really interesting lawsuits where people have sued for major, companies, major insurance providers, for systematically denying claims arbitrarily. Not because of any medical reason, not because you got something out of network, but because it was affecting their bottom line. And they just denied the claim. And they know that a certain percentage of people will never challenge them. And because they're not challenged, they get away with it. They've ripped you. You've paid for the premium. If you're an average person, you're paying $25,000 maybe a year for really great insurance every single year, only to find out that your insurance company is arbitrarily denying claims. And the medical system, the medical billing is arbitrarily throwing things on there for treatments that may or may not have happened. It is a racket. And you're paying the bill for it. And it's disgusting. And it's fixable by just getting yourself healthy and getting the heck out of it. It's not that hard. I've done it. I was a dude that used to weigh 300 pounds and was on 10 medications every single day. In 10 years, I've lost over 100 pounds and I'm off all medications. It's doable. And I have a type of insurance for major medical. It's a defined benefit policy that covers up to $1 million in case of really bad stuff happening. But I don't have to have a doctor. I don't have to have a network. I don't have to pay any attention to any of that nonsense. And I don't. And what's really great about living in this day and age is the fact that we've got the internet. We can learn a lot. And if you have very specific medical questions, you can find the best people on the planet and do an online consultation with them with a fully licensed physician who knows your particular condition. I had a really weird blood test and I could not figure it out by looking at, the sources that I knew. So I found a doctor that was a, new carnivore diet, knew what it did to your blood work. Talk to him. It cost me $50 out of pocket for a 15-minute consultation. It was worth every penny because they were able to answer my specific questions. And that's 15 minutes with a doctor for $50. That's cheaper than a copay that you spend to go see your doctor, to go wait an hour and a half in his waiting room and to have 6 minutes. And what's he going to do? He's going to look at your medication, try to give you more pills. Not going to ask you anything about getting you healthy. Very different world when you start pulling out of the system and start taking care of your own health. Now, here's another thing that I think you ought to put on your New Year's resolution list. Number 3. Ask your doctor, how many classes did you take on deprescribing medication? Yeah, crickets. Nobody gets a class on deprescribing medications. And frankly, that is absolutely a skill that every doctor should know, but they don't. Which is, as a result, you're not getting deprescribed. How many of you guys actually go to a doctor and say, hey, we want to take you off of this medication? No, they just want to add a new one to it because, frankly, one medication creates a new set of symptoms that you need to take care of and manage, blah, blah, blah. So one medication leads to another medication, leads to another medication. And, frankly, deprescribing medication for people that are getting healthy is an art. It is something that needs to be the new specialty. Because I did it the wrong way. Frankly, I just did. About 5 years ago, I was getting healthier. I was on 10, still on about 8 medications, and I just quit taking them. I just quit the medical system, got the heck out of it, quit seeing a doctor, and as a result, all my prescriptions lapsed, which meant I wasn't getting refills. And whoop, I'm going through some really weird withdrawals. When you take an antidepressant for a long period of time, you're going to have weird withdrawals. And all these other medications all interact with one another. And that's a problem. You have to know how to do it. And there's frankly not that many people that know how to deprescribe medication, particularly if you've been on long-term antidepressants or benzos or stuff like that. You're going to have some problems. Some of these can be life-threatening injuries. If you are type 2 diabetic that's using insulin and you start getting healthy and you start eating low carb, within 2 weeks you're going to be reducing the amount of insulin, and you better have somebody on your team that knows how to start deprescribing insulin and how to taper it down and how to manage your system, that level during that transition time. So there's an interesting list of New Year's resolutions. Start asking your doctor for the cause, not a pill. Figuring out how to get the heck out of the medical system. Learn how to deprescribe medication. Boy, if you do that, you're only going to be making yourself healthier for the new year. And hopefully that's your goal. I mean, look, in this quest for our health, we are all alone in this fight, but we can all be alone in this fight together. And if you know somebody that specializes in deprescribing medication and does online consulting, please leave a link down below, because I know there's people that are going to need that information as they get healthier, as they start making diet and lifestyle changes. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. I will talk to you again soon.